Okay, well I guess maybe then it's neither.
No, it's up to you. It's up to you.
I didn't expect all this.
No, I'm just asking. I'm trying to just challenge your view, but you may still think it's frugal because it may still be. Hi guys, welcome back to the Transcript. My name is Margaret and I'm once again, as usual, excited to bring to you another episode. I have my lovely girls here with me today. I'm so happy, I'm so fulfilled. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our previous episode.
Intense, if I'm completely honest. And yeah, the reason why I say that is because jealousy, like no one wants to own that.
That's true.
Make
sure you like, comment and subscribe and share your thoughts. Let us know what you think we should discuss and we'll be so happy to hear your suggestions. So today we're going to be talking about money with you ladies, our personal finances, so it should be really interesting. I'm going to jump straight in. And I just want to ask you girls, how did you guys grow up? Like, did you grow up rich, poor, comfortable?
Yeah, my family, I think we grew up where we weren't poor and we weren't extremely rich, we were comfortable, I would say.
Yeah.
I was comfortable, we were like working class, but not poor, just comfortable. We had what we needed for how many we had. Yeah.
Okay. And how many was that?
7.
Oh.
Like 5 kids and 2 parents.
Oh.
We were, like I'm not sure, I think we were comfortable, but like mum's like a single mum, so she didn't ever let me see like the struggle, so I wouldn't know if we grew up poor or not.
Okay. So how has your upbringing affected how you view money and how you spend your money?
I think for me, I'm a spender. I probably take after my father in that respect. I spend money a lot. And I'm quite bad at saving, which is really terrible because I'm trying to get better. I went to like a finance seminar like literally this week on Tuesday, so I'm trying to make the right steps.
Okay, so that's really interesting. I'm going to read a quote and I just want to hear your views on it. I want to find out if you agree or disagree. So this is a quote by John MacArthur, and he was talking about the economy and finances. He said, the reason we are in the problems that we are in economically is because people are discontented. So we are materialistically greedy, we are covetous, and we are dissatisfied. That kind of discontentment is fed an aggressive diet of advertising. We are offered things which are a product of our temptation. We always want more, we never have enough. But beyond that, we want a life that we can't afford. So ladies, do you agree, do you disagree? How do you feel our culture relates to this type of statement?
I completely agree. I think the economy generally is based on just feeding into people's greed, so that's why you have businesses. Like literally our entire economy is, you know, based on that. So of course it will seep into our day-to-day sort of like life. So we always want what we can't have. We're always told to aspire to what we can't have. That's literally the fundamental of what a luxury product is. Like it's selling you a dream, literally. It's saying if you have this product, you will become better. You are going to have a certain status in society.
It's very honest because obviously, like Dan was saying, this is a capitalist society. Like our economy runs on the needs of the masses. We want what everyone else has. And obviously it's very difficult to say, I don't want this. Because to stand up in that way and to be like, I don't want what the world is selling me, not many people can. Think about our phones, we all have iPhones. Like we all want the best, the latest, the brightest, because it's just in our nature, we can't help it. And it is a biblical thing also, it's the lust of eyes, like the pride of life, lust of the flesh, these desires that are just inside us, we have to satisfy in any way we can. Unfortunately for a lot of us, social media is not helping because you turn on Instagram, you see one fine babe doing fine babe, fine guy doing fine guy. And if you haven't got the means to live that lifestyle, you feel less than. Like that's the epitome of life. If I'm not doing that, I'm not living. But of course the Bible tells us otherwise. So it's like, what do you want to follow, the world or the word?
And it's also really this, like we're literally sold a lie because it's deceptive, because you're told like once you have these products you'll feel happy or you'll be on that next level, but you don't. Like we all know, we bought dresses, we bought everything, and nothing has changed.
Okay, so thinking about, you know, our culture and the seduction of this world when it comes to what they offer us, what is included in your budgets individually? Apart from your bills, apart from the mandatory expenses.
Who wants to start?
Eating out.
How many
I live to eat out. Like I just I do not cook ever.
Yeah.
No, do you know
doing this discipline where I go over what I've spent for the previous month in an Excel spreadsheet. Excel spreadsheet.
I know.
A spreadsheet. But oh my gosh, I spend so much on food, and it's not just like eating out. So like what I'll eat for lunch or just someone's birthday. I'm like, why did I have 2 starters? And like, what am I thinking? And then you don't realise all those things add up. Like I spend so much money in boots, just buying my skincare, hair. What am I buying? You don't realise.
That's why your skin is glowing. No, I shouldn't encourage you. So
I used to spend a lot of money on hair, I'll say, but now I've gone natural. Like before, it's like constantly going to the hairdressers, lips and style and things like that. So did spend a lot of money. But then sometimes you go through seasons where you spend a lot on other people, and this is not to sound like you might have like tons of birthdays in a month.
So you guys have explained what you spend your money on. Do you feel like that's actually an idol? Like, do you look at your budget and you see the way you spend it? Do you feel like, wow, this is actually an idol?
I was just going to say, like, it's first knowing what an idol is. Like, an idol is something that takes your attention away from God. So it's not just, it can be the spending, like Sam said, but it can also be the money itself. It can be people, it can be time. But I think for me, it has been a lot because I'm someone who thinks a lot about money, about the uses of money and how I want to spend it. Because I want to be a good steward, so I'm like, okay, how do I divide my money to last the entire month? So I want to be a good caretaker of the money and the resources God has given me. It's been an idol because it's something that I've been reckless with, something that I've spent too much time thinking about.
I have at times. I think, especially when I was looking at how much I would spend on just buying all kinds of skin things. In a way, it is becoming like an issue that I do need to address it because I do feel like without knowing it, I'm becoming very, very selfish in that sense because I'm just constantly wanting to do this thing for myself that I'm actually stopping to think before I actually spend my money on it. So.
But I guess there's a balance because if you want to take care of your skin, take care of your skin. So when does it become an idol?
But I think it's the consciousness of it as well, though. I think that's where the issue lies. There's nothing wrong. I don't have to walk around with dry skin. I don't think that's an issue, but I do think it is. You know, in everything that we've been given, especially as Christians, we have to have a certain level of gratitude for what we have, acknowledging that other people don't have the same thing. And just in that, you're very careful just about how you do everything in general. So when it comes to spending your money, there does need to be some kind of discipline there.
So guys, we're going to play a quick game called Lavish versus Frugal. So, I'm going to ask a question or describe a scenario. You let me know if you girls think it's frugal, lavish or neither. Okay? So my first question, someone who doesn't like to pay service charge.
But, yeah.
Be serious.
Service charge isn't mandatory.
We get that, but it can be frugal often.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But sometimes to take the mic, I'm not paying £60 service charge.
Sometimes the people argue about it and it's awkward.
Yeah, that's what I should do that.
Someone who doesn't like to split the bill 5 ways.
Look at Saja.
And why do you guys say neither?
Well, this is the thing. if, for instance, you are not eating very much and everyone eats a lot, and you have to split the bill, that might just be too expensive for you.
You wear the same flat shoes to work for a year, but they are from Russell and Bromley.
Oh.
So you're not laughing now. What do you guys think?
I think that's being frugal.
Nah, I don't care where it's from. It's frugal.
Oh,
Don't matter. 1 year? 1 year? That's too much.
How did those shoes not wear out?
No, but that's the point of investing in Russell and Bromley.
That's not everyday wear, do you understand?
Do you get what?
But yeah, okay, so you guys think it's frugal?
I think it's frugal because obviously you get your money's worth, but it's still the same shoes. Are you not going out?
Every season, spring, summer, winter, hey.
You hate when people ask you to buy their ticket for them and they'll give you back the money.
Oh.
This is me though.
It's not always in your best interest to buy people's tickets for them. Because a lot of people want to talk the talk. Oh, buy the ticket. Buy the ticket, yeah? When push come to shove, do they give them
Never.
That says nothing.
I've learned by
to be honest,
my friend.
to be honest, speaking of a ticket is probably no more than 15 or 20 pounds.
Okay, that means okay.
It's
No, it depends who's asking.
Yeah. Okay.
No, because you'll take like £20 today and take it tomorrow.
Say it,
So you're all doing a group booking,
Okay.
and someone has to drop out for an emergency, but you still ask them to pay for their share.
No, that's witchcraft.
Why are they paying?
Honestly, they're not going anywhere.
That's just
Because it affects
That's beyond frugal though.
No, it's beyond.
You just have to find something you can afford.
Oh, find your friends.
Find a little place.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Definitely.
And you said emergency, they're still asking for money.
Oh my God.
It's an emergency. Someone died. I know, but we need the 100. I said witchcraft.
You can freely spend £300 on a coat.
I think that's being lavish.
But
Yeah.
it's lavish because it's quite excessive, I think.
Necessary
But for most people, it is excessive. Let's not lie. But there are coats that are an investment, and like a real leather jacket, for example, isn't cheap. So you could find one for £300 and wear that for years and years and years and years and years. So and not buy another one. Whereas you might buy a £60 one, a £50 one every year. Do you know what I mean? And then it will still add up.
That's very true.
I don't know. I've got to be honest. I don't know if a coat can be an investment. Part of me feels like if you have to think about it that way, you probably shouldn't get the coat.
Oh, for real.
Because I feel like for somebody who can buy that £300 coat, just like I would buy like a Zara coat, that's different levels of being able to spend money.
You go on 4 medium-priced holidays a year.
Already lavish. Already.
Medium price. What's medium price?
Oh yeah, that's what I should ask.
It's not a big holiday, so it's not the Caribbean or America.
Okay.
I think because of the number of holidays, if you're going on more than, let's be real, more than 2, even more than 1 holiday a year, that is lavish.
Yeah.
Some people can't afford to go to Devon, so it's already lavish.
Yeah.
Depends your level, but I would say lavish.
Generally, you're spending about £500 to £700
Per trip?
per trip.
That's lavish.
That's too much.
I don't think it's too much because I know people who will actually sacrifice a lot throughout a quarter just to be able to afford the holiday for that because they prioritize it so highly.
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
You work full-time, but you don't buy birthday presents.
Oh,
Oh!
especially if you receive them from people. That's frugal.
You don't want to use your annual leave because you want to be reimbursed.
Sorry.
Reimbursed for what?
That's a new one.
Do people do this?
It's not that deep, audience.
Okay, cool.
Can you imagine?
You shop in the kids section as a fully grown adult.
I cannot fit in the kids
Some of us
section.
won't fit in the kids section, darling.
Well, if it
Fine,
depends.
no.
Some people are so petite that they can do that, and it's not actually that they're being cheap. It might just like that looks really cute on me as a 10-year-old.
So, ladies, back to our discussion. Do you think it's wrong to seek security? Ultimately, things we do are for security. We look for a job for security. We look to invest in things for security. So, is it wrong to seek security?
I wouldn't say it's wrong. Where is your security your idols? Like, do you think that like, is your trust in the things you have, or is it in God? Do you know what I mean? If it's in the things you have, it's definitely not in God. So and your circumstances always change.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much security you have, like you've seen examples of like millionaires who commit suicide, all of this stuff, and circumstances change. So you can't rest on your home. Having a mortgage, having a house at heart, thinking that's gonna make life smooth and amazing.
So, when you observe our culture, something that's really pertinent in our culture is the fact that we really want to have a side hustle. What do you think are the potential dangers, and what do you think is good about that? Well,
Being someone that wants to pursue a side hustle, just realise that sometimes what you're getting and the taxes you be paying are not worth it, and you need some extra income to really balance out what you're losing. So it's great because there's a lot of young people that are entrepreneurs and they're doing different things and having on the side businesses, even YouTube channels, things like that, and it's really great.
I think it's important. As we know, sometimes you just don't know what happens at work. Like if you're, God forbid, but if your company went bankrupt or the economy crashed or whatever happened, a lot of the time if you have something to fall back on, that's how a lot of people get through those difficulties. I think it's a sensible thing to do. I don't think people necessarily have a side hustle just for the money. Sometimes you have it for the creativity.
Do you feel like there's a temptation of sacrificing relationships for the sake of your side hustle or your second or third stream of income?
Yeah, but I think to an extent it's necessary. Just because like I feel like sometimes people don't realise how life will just catch up with you. And I think, you know, if you're in relationships with people who have the same mentality of being hardworking and we need to get things done, no one's going to hold you to this kind of, oh, and you know, I miss you and I haven't seen you, but like if we're not married, like, you know, why are you so upset? You should be doing something for yourself as well. And I think that
it's true.
No, I do think that, and I think sometimes people don't realise that, you know, you would have spent all this time giving to other people, all your time, all your energy, and then you would have never actually built anything out of what God has placed in your heart to do. And time is so precious, you don't get it back. It's the biggest commodity that we have. You just need to be able to do things properly with it. And I think relationships that stand the test of that really tend to be the ones that you need the most, because a lot of relationships get stronger from someone supporting you, helping you build that vision. So I think you just have to have an understanding in your relationships about what you're trying to achieve.
Okay. I think that's really interesting. I do agree with the point that, you know, time just gets away from us, so we do have to be productive. I guess I'm a bit cautious because, like you said, the relationships that stand that test of time are probably the ones that are the true relationships. But I do feel like, oh, but what if the person doesn't have a side hustle? Like, it's not everyone that's going to have a side hustle. Some people are focused on their career.
I mean, it's not by force to have a side hustle, it's not. But I feel like everyone has something that they're good at outside of work most of the time. True. And I mean, for every individual, it's worth, you know, developing that craft. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be something that makes you money. But you can't just spend all your free time not doing anything productive.
I was going to give like side hustle tidbits, only because I love a side hustle. I think everyone needs a side hustle in life generally. But like, you have to be consistent with your character. Like, some people's side hustle doesn't make sense for them. So I'm gonna be real. Okay. So I'm like, when you're considering a side hustle, please, make sure it's actually legal. Like, that's number one. I'm gonna be real. Oh my god. I'm gonna be real. The side hustle is not illegal. So you know I'm laughing, but this is my job. Like, it has to be legal. Number two, like, it has to make sense. It has to be logical. Do you understand? Like, don't do some side hustle that don't make no sense. Like one, you know.
Don't give examples.
I will not give an example. You guys know who you are. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay. And the other one is like, it needs to be relevant for you, because again, time is an important resource. You can't invent one side hustle that is just, you haven't even got the manpower for, you haven't got the skill set for, you haven't even got anything for it.
So ladies, how do we actually steward our finances? The thing I've learned is that there are assets and liabilities. And I think our culture is consumed with liabilities.
First question, define assets and liabilities. So we're all, like, what are your assets, what are your liabilities?
Good question. An asset is something that essentially increases in value. Something that makes money for you, whereas a liability is something that costs you. Now in life, things are going to cost you. A liability, for example, is a car. Some people need a car, but it's a liability. An asset, in some situations, is a house. Maybe a buy-to-let house, if you're renting out, is paying you because someone's paying your mortgage. That's an asset. So how do we steward that, guys?
I think the biggest example for me is, so you know the Bible where Joseph goes to Egypt and then they have this 7 years of famine. So God told them to save. So when there was plenty, he told them to save, so that when there wasn't anything, they could still get by. And I think that's the biggest lesson. I think in terms of stewardship, saving is very crucial, and I don't think that's a lesson you can learn early enough ever. So whether you're saving towards a house, you can get the help to buy scheme, whatever helps you in that way. If you want to invest in shares, however you're going to do it, your money needs to work for you. But there's nothing wrong with just having money put away, whether interest rates these days are just ridiculously sad. But so savings won't really grow as much, but I think there is wisdom in having money aside there just waiting. Yeah.
Obviously, the good tip with budgeting is when I first started becoming responsible with my money, I used to think, okay, I'm gonna go really cold turkey, I'm not gonna do anything stupid, and just have like my main core bills, and then that's it, and not do any, and literally didn't last at all. Someone gave me a really good tip the other day, and she does this thing where like she puts £10 a week aside so that at the end of the month, if she wants to go out something, she can. So she has like £40 or £50 saved up, depending on obviously the month. But it's really just good if you're not very good at saving, if you're not very good at like putting money aside, just give yourself that money just to say, okay, fine, that's my little treat at the end of the month. And then maybe that will instill a better, more discipline.
I also think giving's important, because as much as we need to save and we need to put money aside for like these obviously events and things we need to spend on, showing God that we actually trust Him with our finances, we have to be sensible of our giving. Don't give out compulsion. Don't give because a preacher has told you on a Christian channel that don't give. You need to give because your heart wants to give, because you know that God is your provider, and everything you have, God gave to you. Because I think money magnifies what's in your heart already. And if you're frugal with your small chips, then when the big potatoes come, what are you gonna do? You need to be I think you need to be comfortable with your money, but also showing God in the money. He doesn't need your money, but it just shows Him how much you trust Him. So I think because I know savings, step 1. Step 2, putting money aside and actually using it as and when. But step 3, how much do you trust God with your money? Like, are you willing to give into your church? If not, why? Intention is important.
Yeah, and I don't think it's only church as well. Also needs around us that we really neglect.
So what you were saying about prosperity gospel and people like on TV telling you to give money for whatever. I think a lot of the time why they're so successful is that they play on people's greed. And the reason they're able to get people calling in is because someone sat there in front of the TV not trusting God to provide, so they rather trust this preacher and whatever power he supposedly has to, I'll give him £100 and I'll get 1,000. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why they are often successful.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.
Peace and rock.
My question to you, however, is do you feel that there's a kind of struggle of sacrificing people at the extent of having second or third streams of income?
Sacrificing people?
Yeah, so in the sense that you have a job.
So did I. I think she means I had to laugh all the way. The African version. No, I was like in a rich way.
So do you feel like there's a struggle of...
Put it into something that's worthwhile. Invest in people, give, all those things. You can't just always be just buying things that you won't need tomorrow. It's wasteful. So I
think that's really interesting because I can't remember what I was going to say, but it is really interesting. Say what you said one more time. I'm so sorry. Whatever they have, and that kind of discontentment is fed an aggressive diet of
this is my gosh.
That kind of discontentment is fed an aggressive diet of advertising. Why can't I say advertising?
Damn it,